Hi, today I'm reviewing the Makita DTD173 cordless screwdriver. We'll take a look at it, tell you about its modes, how it works, and so on. My kit is bare bones. A box, the impact driver itself with a lanyard attached, a belt clip, and a double-ended bit for the Japanese standard. It looks like a PH2, but it's not the same. Made in Japan. Wow, this is the first time I've used one. It even has an E on the terminal. The lanyard is very easy to remove without cutting. Just unscrew all the screws, disassemble the body, pull out the pin that holds the lanyard, and put everything back together. That's all. Dimensions. The body is 112 millimeters long and approximately 19 centimeters high. Weight. The impact driver itself weighs 845 grams, and with the small battery, about 1200 grams. Quite light for an 18-volt unit. Ergonomics. What can I say? This is the most comfortable tool I've ever laid my hands on. It's simply a pleasure to hold. Nothing gets in the way, it's a joy. But if you have large hands, you won't share my delight. The battery doesn't get wall up in the wall when working close to it. The control panel is on the back. No need to twist your wrist to check the mode. Everything is right there. Chuck. The bit is inserted without pulling the guard. The maximum torque is 180 Newton meters. There are 4 standard speeds. They are switched by both the button on the panel and the quick change button under the chuck. The speeds change from higher to lower, which is unusual. Usually, it's first, second, third, and so on. Here, it's the other way around. If you want to switch, for example, from first to second speed, you have to click in a circle. A small detail, but sometimes annoying. Automatic modes. Also 4. I'll try to avoid digital wonking. 1. Which starts at medium speed. When a load is applied, it spins at full speed. 2. Bolt. When driving, it spins at maximum speed. When loosening, it spins at maximum speed, and when there's no load, it stops immediately. 3. T1. It spins at maximum speed and stops when a load is applied, but not always. Whether I've manually braked it or driven screws, it doesn't always stop. It's the most glitchy of all. 4. T2. It spins at maximum speed and then drops to medium speed when a load is applied. In wood, T1 and T2 modes, when switching to reverse, it spins at maximum speed. If you have a favorite mode, you can set it as a quick change button so that it always activates when pressed. To do this, set the desired mode and simultaneously hold down the button under the chuck and the left button on the panel. Now, pressing the quick change button will activate the set mode. To reset this mode, press and hold both buttons on the panel simultaneously. If it gets in the way, you can lock the quick switch button. To do this, press and hold the quick switch button and the right button on the panel simultaneously. You can unlock it in the same way. The backlight. Here a ring-shaped light. It's a spotlight. The brightness is adjustable and has 3 modes. You can also simply turn it off. It's toggled by holding the left button on the panel. Plus, it can also function as a separate flashlight. Set it to neutral, press the button, and it will stay lit for an hour. The brightness of this flashlight is adjusted by pressing the same button, and doesn't interfere with the backlight's brightness. So, if you turn the flashlight on and set it to a certain brightness, when you switch it to the working position, the backlight will be at the brightness you set it to. It can easily replace a battery-powered flashlight. In short, the backlight is fantastic. How does it work? Driving screws with it is easy and pleasant. Drilling with it is also excellent. It unscrews 19mm nuts without a hitch, and I've had to do more. As for working with small fasteners and soft wood, not every electric screwdriver can work so precisely. The trigger is very responsive. You can keep the speed low and work very delicately. It even sounds strange, this impact driver, which can be used for assembling furniture and even for driving it into drywall. The video shows a 2x8mm screw and a pine beam. If you press gently, it turns like a power screwdriver. It's awesome. As for the automatic modes, they're crap. I tried to film them, but they're shy. They start glitching. Basically, the wood mode and the screw mode are almost identical to the 4th speed. The T1 mode works as it pleases. If it feels like it, it'll stop. If not, it'll keep screwing until the last minute. So, this isn't the kind of automatic mode you can use to drive screws one after another without even looking. The T2 mode is okay, but I didn't like driving metal screws with a press washer. Their PMs are too high right off the bat. In the screw removal mode, it just stops, which is a bit early for me. In the Repairability I reviewed, link in the description, it slows down in this mode, which is convenient. And here's an acquired taste. Repairability. Everything is generally fine here. Some parts are sold locally, and others can be ordered from afar if needed. The main thing is not to confuse it with the 137. The most annoying part here is, of course, the controller. It's hard to find and costs between $60 and $100, depending on where you find it. But overall, you can repair this thing, both the mechanical and electrical parts, if necessary. Pros, cons and nuances. Pros: ergonomics, weight. Comfortable, very lightweight. Fire. The button is responsive. There's no need for a screwdriver. Cons: the price tag, I suppose. Although, again, this is a professional tool, quite sophisticated and well made. Why would it be cheap? I think it's worth the money. This isn't a festool where you just pay for a sticker. The price-quality ratio is quite good. Automatic modes. The electronics have one drawback. They can also glitch. While I was trying to use these modes, I hated them. Especially the T1 mode, it just takes on a life of its own. One nuance: the chuck is for Japanese bits, and it's a Japanese screwdriver. The instructions say there's an adapter, but for some reason, they don't include one in the kit. You have to buy it separately. I inserted a piece bit of a bit, and it jammed tightly. Seems okay. Bottom line: it's a killer. It's perfect for most tasks. It can handle any fastener, from the smallest screws to the heaviest ones. Overall, it's a highly versatile tool. If you need a professional tool and have the opportunity, I highly recommend it. I'd also like to point out that if you like this thing but can't afford it, it's already inspired every other Chinese company. I'm talking about more or less decent options. I wouldn't recommend those $30 knockoffs. Yeah, that's not it. But if you don't need a professional tool and need something simpler, why not get it? Especially at half the price. The ergonomics, backlight, and modes are all pretty much identical. It's a perfectly acceptable option. Plus, it might be more comfortable for some people, as it's more at hand. That's all for now. Subscribe, leave comments. That's all. Good luck to everyone.